All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here in California on vacation, and I'm here with my new friend.
What's up, everybody? My name is Brandon Ortega.
And Brandon, we're here in what's this beautiful Laguna Beach?
Laguna Beach, main beach here.
Look at that, yay!
Doesn't get better than that.
And you're at least 18, and you know that we're filming and it's going online.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's talk. First of all, your stuff looks like immaculate, like it almost looks like clothing.
I appreciate it.
And you and tell me, you said you have a business, so tell us about your business.
I do. So I have a media company, a production company here. I produce everything from a podcast to professional photography, video work. Really focusing a lot on the podcast lately. That's really taken off. So.
And are you still taking customers?
Absolutely.
Well, how can they get in contact with
you? Absolutely. You can follow my personal or my business page. My personal is Brandon Eric Ortega. And my studio page is TBD Media Studios.
All right, and Ortega is Ortega?
Correct.
Okay, coolio. And you were born and raised here in California, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so in California, more Inland Empire. It's a little different than the beach. Growing up in the IE, you know.
And who is this little one?
This is Penelope.
Hey, Miss Penelope.
Yeah, she comes everywhere with me.
Have you had her since she was a pup?
Since she was a pup, 8 weeks, little. She can fit in my hand.
In your hand.
Little potato, you know what I'm saying?
Not anymore.
No, I know.
Okay. Now, how old were you when you got your first tattoo?
I was 25 or 26.
Okay.
When I got my first one, and honestly, I just jumped straight into the deep end. I know tattoos. The tattoo artist is actually here, local in Laguna. I'm going to give him a shout out. His name is Sean Hall, and he works out of Cast of Crowns in Laguna Beach. And honestly, I had nothing, and he started at my knuckles, right at my hand, and went all the way up to my arm. Eventually, we went all the way across the chest. You know, I got right here my. We'll talk more about it, but my tribute to Kobe.
Okay.
Got my Black Mamba little piece right here.
Okay.
But,
so let's talk about this first one here.
Yeah.
So which one was the first one now?
So it started, honestly, if I were to choose, like, say one, it was one, my first tattoo.
Yeah.
Literally my whole arm. We did the stencil.
Okay.
And it was my whole arm from my shoulder right here to my knuckles on my left hand.
I'm going to assume that's the most expensive one.
Honestly, it's like I said, it's one just piece right now,
Okay.
and just like each session,
It keeps going on.
Pricey habit, yeah.
All right, so how did you, so when you first did it at 25, what started you? What made you say, okay, I'm ready for a tat?
You know what? When you're drawn to certain things, you kind of weigh your pros and cons, especially when it comes to tattoos. Why is it that I'm attracted to tattoos? What I think they're so cool. And for me, it's a commitment. It's for life unless you get it removed. But I don't want to be doing all that. And for me, like sacred geometry and shapes, it speaks to me as a person, and I really like the meanings behind all of them.
Okay.
Everything from the mandalas to what they symbolize, to my Greek key pattern. A lot of people think it's like the Versace symbol.
Yeah.
But that's one of my little favorite patterns in here. You got your.
Now to explain those two, so what was the first word? You said a word I didn't know. Forgot you.
The sacred geometry.
It was something after. Now I got the sacred geometry,
Okay.
but it was something after that. I'll get back. All right, so talk to us about the Greek key and then each piece.
Yeah. So the Greek key, the artist, I told him basically, there were two patterns that I wanted with the Greek key and this one. Some associated as like the Goyard pattern. Some of it say it's more of like a an Escher artwork.
Okay.
But like for me personally, I knew that the geometry work and the dot work was the style that I really liked. And it's never finished. As you can see right here, it's kind of the outline still.
Okay.
So I got to finish filling in the chest. I'm gonna do my other arm, do my back of my neck. I'm gonna go all in.
Now you're gonna do it all the way down on this hand as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have both the arms and then a little back of the neck. I don't know if I'll do the throat, probably not, but we'll see.
So now you talk to us a little bit, I guess, about how you or what you select. How do you decide do they just kind of go together, or do you find something that kind of fits in that frame, or what do you do with that? How's that?
So it's the artist's style.
Okay.
So most of his tattoos are gonna be either like neo Japanese with like a combination of sacred geometry. It's all dot work. So if you look closer, you can see when he fills it in, it's just like really precise dots with different, inks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like I said, believe it or not, I'm terrified of needles. And he's the only person I trust to put a needle to my skin. His name is Sean Hall. Like I said, he's the best. I won't go to anybody else ever. But yeah, that's just his style. And I came across his page. I knew he was local. Not too many artists are really skilled in this specific type of tattoo art.
Yeah.
Especially here, like in Orange County, I want to stay local. There's maybe one or two other artists that do sacred geometry and dot work.
Okay.
And he's the one I went with.
So all right. So you say that you are terrified of needles.
Yeah.
Now some people say that it's either soothing or addictive. What's your take on?
It's both. Honestly, like there's some sessions where I'll fall asleep and then I'll wake up and it's like, okay, we're done. Like, oh shit, like it's just relaxing, you know. But it's also like an addictive feeling. And then you start kind of nitpicking. You look at little pieces here, like it bothers me so much that there's like a gap right here. Like I just can't wait till I can start filling everything in.
Okay.
Like I have a vision of how I want.
So you couldn't just like draw. So this looks like this would have fit here, or.
So he's definitely more proactive in how he's. I told him I eventually want to go all over, so
Okay.
he's thinking, 5 steps ahead. So he's like, you know what, maybe I'll kind of fit pieces here. So like, and it's like the shapes, the geometry, they all kind of intertwine and fit. So honestly, he's legit at what he does, and I just kind of just trust him. Like
Most painful.
right here.
Okay.
So yeah, if it goes down a little bit lower, it drops down just a little bit on the sternum, but like right here, just some shading.
Yeah.
And
what is that symbol? This one here, like a almost Egyptian looking to me, but
kind of. You know what? I don't think this is any specific symbol. It's more just kind of like the shapes and like the way the design.
Okay.
Just kind of fits.
Yeah.
I couldn't put a name to it. I think this one has more of a I forget. It's like an actual Japanese, like a star. There's a name for it, but I can't think of the name. But yeah, right there on the sternum.
Yeah.
I remember just laying down and it felt just like a torch, or like a lighter. Like somebody took like a lighter and was just like holding it to my skin, and I was just like trying to breathe and trying to control my breathing. Yeah, that was really painful. The shading is just like digging and digging and digging, but everything else, it's honestly not terrible.
And everything. Okay. And now are you going to get any color? I noticed no color at least.
Personally, no
Okay.
color for me. Yeah.
So is there a reason behind no color, or?
No reason. I think just with my complexion, I think the shades of black look the best, and yeah, that's just kind of what I like.
Now, so you allow your artist to determine where stuff goes on your body?
Yes.
Okay.
So you do. I think you have to give her. He's an artist, and artists are artists because they don't fit the mold of traditional work, and they don't like being told what to do. So you might have an idea. Like I said, look, when I told him I wanted the Kobe pattern, my original idea was like I wanted it all over, and it's the way it's constructed. It's slightly asymmetrical, and they don't fit perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So from like his design perspective, it wasn't going to work.
Okay.
But, that's fine. I at least want to have that tree, have that symbol. So we'll smack dip in the middle, and then we'll work around it. And like I said, I told him I wanted the Greek key, a couple mandalas here, and then he just gets to working and doing what artists do.
Now, do you guys collaborate on what's being selected, or do you go in like, okay, I want something like this?
You collaborate initially in the beginning. Some people have like a specific like picture. I think for me, because I didn't have like an image that I wanted specifically, or it wasn't like a portrait or a name or anything, So I said I had an idea. I was actually going to him for his artistic expertise, and I said, look, if we can figure out this pattern, I like the style that you do, and I kind of gave him that trust and those reins. So I feel like when he has control, that's when he thrives the best.
Now, what's the longest you've sat for a session?
4 hours, I believe.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
Okay. And what do you do during that 4 hours? I mean, you sleep sometimes. What else do you do?
Yeah, honestly, like he's a cool dude. He's an author too. So like we talk about everything from like sci-fi to like the novels he's writing. Just if I'm not like falling asleep, like I said, or dozing off, or honestly, he's just like might be in his zone, listening to music or something.
Yeah.
And I'm just there, just chilling, just getting tatted.
Okay. And how old are you now?
I'm 29.
So you've been getting tattoos for 4 years?
About that.
About
yeah.
4 years. Okay. And are you going to get any leg tats or just upper body?
You know what? I thought about the legs, but they say once you start, you just never finish. So I say just upper body, but you never know. I might end up going legs eventually.
So now for you, is it inspiration or art, or both?
Inspiration or art?
Or both?
It's both for sure.
Okay.
For sure. I think art, in and of itself, or even to define art, I think it kind of has to be inspirational, maybe even aspirational, depending how you look at it. Like I said, one of the main reasons why I was drawn to this type of artwork in the first place, because I was inspired by somebody else that had similar work, and I was inspired by the artwork that he did, and I aspired to have similar work on my body. So it's a little bit of both.
Okay. Now, last question. So for people who don't have tats but are considering getting, any advice?
understand that it's really not as painful as you might assume. Everyone's different. Some people, have more of a meaning behind it. I respect that. Some people are really creative. They'll integrate like someone's name into a design, or maybe like a birth date. Or I've seen, God forbid, when the pup is gone, I might get like her paw prints or something. Like some people have more meanings. And like I said, I like what the sacred geometry stands for, or what it symbolizes. But just go for it. I mean, I was a high school teacher when I got my first tattoo, and some people might be like, well, if you're a teacher, that's kind of taboo, might be opposed to getting tattoos. But nowadays, I mean, everyone has tattoos.
Yeah, I teach school now, and almost all my colleagues have tattoos.
Exactly. Yeah, so, I mean, advice, just go for it.
Excellent. Thanks for your time.
Of course, thank you.